crying dolls, scary Dora, and a Lego strip club. These are the 10 weirdest toys from around the world. Number 10, the crying injection doll. Toy makers try to make kids' playthings as close to the real thing as possible. Sometimes this is a good thing, other times it's not. But whatever the case, we've always gotten an interesting toy that'll make headlines. It's either so bad it's laughable or cringe, or it's so good that it flies off the shelves quickly. In this case, we don't even know what to think. Take a trip to Japan and find Yume, the doll that cries. Now, before you go and bring out your holy water and cross, it's not that type of doll. This one cries only when you inject it. Although it does make you think, was it the only thing the toy maker could think of? More importantly, why is an injection part of a kid's toy? Did we miss a meeting where everyone agreed to let children play with sharp objects for fun? We understand they wanted to make a doll as real as possible, but no one asked for that. In fact, the reason children play with toys is because they aren't ready for the real world. So, no, Yume the crying doll is not cute or adorable. It's both weird and scary. Number 9, Dora the Explorer Aqua Pets. We have so many questions about this toy. For one, did the toy maker even see any part of the show? Because if they did, there are many other things they could have made into toys. There's Boots the monkey, the singing backpack, maps, Swiper, even Dora herself. But no, they just had to do something else. We can appreciate something better, an original idea if you will. But this is just weird in many ways. The toy looks like an adult toy made to look like a unique part of the male body. Even if your mind was washed with the Pope's water, there's no way you cannot see that shape. It's in your face as clearly as can be. We wonder how no one noticed during the making of the toy. More so, how did toy sellers not notice that the Dora Aquapet might just be a little misleading for kids? You can be sure that parents were more terrified than happy to see the kids with this toy. No one can blame them for tossing it into the trash too. This toy is a massive fail in our books, 0 out of 10. Number 8, Lego Strip Club. Legos, those toy blocks you love to play with that injure your feet when you don't clear them up. Legos are one of the most popular toys in the world, and there are different sets for different ages. This means that they make toys for both kids and adults. While we know them for their cute superhero characters or regular folks, the toy makers at Lego once made a toy that you can't give to a child. Meet the Lego Strip Club. Now, if you know anything about strip clubs, it's where adults go to enjoy themselves. What they do there is not safe for work or for kids to hear. So finding a Lego Strip Club set is just too weird to not talk about. We've got so many questions. Who gave them the idea? Is this the only weird toy set they made? What next would they think of? Whatever you do, don't give this to a child. Instead, buy him some sweets. If you think these were weird, now we're gonna take a look at Irvin the Surgery Doll, a toilet plumbing toy, and teddies that look like weird body parts. Number 7, Irwin the Surgery Doll. Do you ever look at yourself and think, I could probably be a better surgeon than my doctors? No? Well, too bad. Irwin is a doll with bright, large eyes that wears a hospital gown. Once you take off the gown, you'll find a zip on its stomach and chest. Unzip it and you can see all of Irwin's organs. What now? Well, just dig it all out. Remove all the organs and do whatever you want with it. The organs almost look like the real thing, but some are not designed well. His lungs are bright blue in color, which would be concerning in real life. Also, the intestines are green. Then you have a heart that looks like the love emoji, some kidneys and some liver and spleen. You know, fun stuff. Anyway, even though the toy may be good for teaching kids about what can be found in a body, it is a little weird. For one, Irwin doesn't seem to mind. In fact, as you start taking out his organs, he just lays there smiling up at you. We've had enough nightmares for one day, thank you. Number 6, Mega Plumber Action Figure. Forget Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, or any other superhero. Yeah, they can fight off bad guys and keep the world safe. But, can they clean up your toilet? Can they make the water run so you don't make a mess? Of course they can't. But what they can't do, Mega Plumber can do better. That's how the saying goes, right? The Mega Plumber action figure was made by American Standard, which is a company that makes real toilets. They wanted kids to know that the people who fixed their toilets were also heroes. While we appreciate this and applaud their efforts, it's still weird that a toy was made by a toilet company. But the most surprising part is that kids now have to play with a toilet and plumber. We don't see the fun in using rubber gloves, a small toilet, and a wrench. Now all kids have to do is think about playing with the toilet. Gross. Number 5. Plush guts. Plush toys come in many different shapes and sizes. In fact, they can be made to look like anything from animals like bears, dolphins, giraffes, etc. to movie characters like Pennywise the Clown or Winnie the Pooh. With plushies, toy makers can make just about anything. So when a company known as I Heart Guts started to make plush toys that look like things found inside a body, it was a little weird. This sounds like a useful toy that children could learn from or play with, but that's not all they did. The company also made stuffed testicles, stuffed ovaries, and stuffed bladders. Of all the things they could think of, these are what they went with. How's a child supposed to play with a stuffed testicle? Starting now, things get serious. It's now time to look at a weird toy dog, an inflatable slide, and a silly pet rock. Number 4. Doggy Doo. Doggy Doo is made by Goliath Games LLC. It's one of the most popular toys in Europe, with over 1 million toys sold only in 2011. While it sounds like a great toy, it's quite weird. The toy joins children's love of animals with poop. These two things should never be in the same sentence, but here we are. The Doggy Doo is part of a game that teaches children how to care for pets. The dog is a dachshund made from plastic. It has a leash that joins a pump handle. The toy comes with some molded putty treats to give the dog. After feeding it, you can now press on the pump. The dog starts to wag its tail and fart just as poop starts to fall. Whoever scoops 3 poops the fastest wins the game. Ugh, how weird is that? Number 3. Titanic inflatable slide. Are you still telling your child about the Titanic from the movie or book? You don't have to bother anymore because now you can show it to them in real life. The whole Titanic thing was a real thing that happened. And this toy made in China may be a little sad. Real people died in that accident, so it shouldn't be made into a toy. We weren't the only ones who think so. The country of Switzerland was not too happy about the toy either. They thought it was morally wrong, and we agree. The toy slide is about 33 feet high. It has some very sharp angles that leave you screaming as you bounce in the air. Some even come with an inflatable iceberg to make it more like the real thing. Just sad. Now we move on to the moment you've all been waiting for. Number 2, pet rock. That people are willing to buy actual rocks as a toy is still the lowest we've gone as a people till today. Pet rocks were created by Gary Dahl, who took some stones from the Rosarito Beach in Mexico and started selling them as pets in cardboard boxes. People were giving out $4 to own a rock that did nothing. How do you even start to play with a piece of rock? We're glad that people stopped buying it at some point and the idea was called off. Number 1, Big Lou, 1963. We know we've complained in many of our videos about toys that only do one thing or nothing at all, but this is the opposite of that. Apart from being named after the toilet, Big Lou was a popular toy sold for around $9.99. What brings it to our list is how silly the design was. It was like someone just slapped many toys together into one. The toy had eyes that lit up and a rocket launcher in its feet. It could also shoot darts from its nipples and plastic balls from its arm. Like that's not enough, the toy could also change your voice and click in Morse code. That's a lot going on with one toy. Many kids are fine with action figures that don't do anything, but this one looks like it was made by someone with OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. We understand that the toy maker just wanted to make a toy with many features for kids to play with, but they went about it with Big Lou in not the best way. If you can't choose between 2 things, you might want to stay away from this toy. It is not for you. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.